All right. Welcome back to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Just to kind of reflect on what we talked about. We had our segment one. We talked about our WWE NXT Spring Break in Week 2 review. And let's go ahead and jump on to our AEW Dynamite preview. So tonight, Kenny Omega returns, and I think this is something that is very volatile for the kind of like the development of the elite finally being brought down. Last week you saw Okada, you saw the Young Guns and Jack Perry kind of take these guys that you saw him take Tony Khan out, and it's cool and all. Absolutely, like yes, 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 yes. Like the Bryan Danielson. I don't know if any of you guys are new wrestling fans. That was Daniel Bryan in WWE. Do it with me, guys. Do it with me. Yes, yes. But ultimately, I don't know. I just felt like the elite are trying to kind of take over like AEW, like the NWO did in WCW. I know that might kind of cause a little bit of hardships and a little bit of a, kind of like a little bit of a, just like a little bit of spark, a little bit of spark among the professional wrestling industry. But I don't know, man. It's to the point where, like I said before, all in all, I feel like the better the wrestling promotion is, the more and more and more it feels like your owner doesn't have to kind of enter, kind of have to input his, kind of his vision on that. And of course, you kind of had WWE and WWF with Vince McMahon constantly bringing his family into it, like Shane, Stephanie, and even his wife Linda. And it was just like, why? Like, why is this happening? Why do you guys keep coming back and forth, back and forth? So that definitely on this whole stint with Tony Khan, like it was kind of cool to see him in a neck brace. Not that I'm like I'm dark like that, but he kept kayfabe on the NFL draft. So ultimately, I don't know. I just feel like it's best for wrestling if the general managers, the owners, and just the people pulling the strings in the back of creative officers just kind of just leave it to the talent. So I would love to see Kenny Omega gather a group of guys that challenge the elite and ultimately kind of bring them down. That's what I would want to see. That's where I think AEW should kind of bring it. But would it listen to me? I don't know. I'm just a simple guy. I'm a simple guy from Southern California, like long walks on the beach, maybe a little bit of, maybe, I'm just kidding. No, let's move on. Let's stop being weird. Stop being weird. So we have our AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland is going to find out who's his next competitor at AEW Double or Nothing. Super excited to see Swerve in this Dynamite. I love Swerve Strickland. Honestly, at first I wasn't into Swerve, but Swerve is good. He's good. He he's good. He puts for good matches, good promos, and you gotta, if you beat the Samoan bulldozer, not the no, that was Umaga. The Samoan, no, rest in peace. The Samoan submission machine. You're good in my book, man. You're good in my book, 110%. So honestly, I don't know who's going to step up and fight Swerve Strickland, but I hope it's a worthy match to kind of happen at Double or Nothing because honestly, AEW kind of needs it. They kind of need it. They don't need another like, like just another BS match. They don't need another BS match. So these next couple of bookings heading into May. Well, today's my first. Heading into the middle of May, the end of May, you're gonna expect probably something really, really big to happen in AEW in terms of the AEW World Championship. So obviously, that's my opinion. I think it's going to be kind of dynamite. So yeah, let's just kind of move on. We are currently running out of tiempo. So all right, we have our AEW TNT Championship match between Adam Copeland and Buddy Matthews. Obviously, Buddy Matthews is part of House of Black and Edge, Eddie Kingston, and the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion came up short at Dynasty. This is kind of like a nice little like let's like let these guys kind of fight against each other. Ultimately, I think Adam Copeland's gonna pick up the victory. If he doesn't, I swear to God, I will jump into my pool that's like 30 degrees. I'm just kidding. So that's gonna happen. We also have our FTW championship match between Chris Jericho versus Katsuyori Shibata. Shibata is definitely one of the best wrestlers in the wrestling industry in terms of AEW, Impact Wrestling, Ring of Honor, and New Japan Professional Wrestling. So this match, it's not just a layup for Chris Jericho, but ultimately I feel like Big Bill is going to get involved, and kind of ultimately that's how he's going to win this match. We also have Mariah May and Serena Deeb. Serena Deeb, kind of deemed herself as the next challenger for the timeless Tony Storm's AEW World Women's Championship. And then you have Mariah May, of course. Mariah May and Tony Storm are kind of like in this storyline together. It's a little interesting. I'm not trying to say it's kind of like kind of like an intimate or like a love or like a personal relationship. This isn't this kind of podcast, guys. But ultimately, I feel like Tony Storm is gonna win Serena D, but I don't know. It's gonna be somebody pretty big to dethrone Tony Storm because they kind of kept her title throughout. I don't know, just all the hardships and stuff like that. Absolutely, like you know, you saw her beat Thunder Rosa. I thought Thunder Rosa was going to win AEW Dynasty, but what do I know? So okay, moving on, we have Claudio Castagnoli against Brian Cage. Brian Cage, I haven't seen Brian Cage on AEW in a pretty long time. So honestly, I think it'd be kind of cool to see Cage get this win to kind of build up more momentum. But I love Cesaro back in WWE. I kind of like Claudio. Claudio's a great, he's a great wrestler. He's a great superstar. He's definitely one of those matches that, you kind of have to sit down and kind of be like, all right, let's watch this dude here. Let's watch this dog go out there and just do what he does best and just kind of wrestle the shit out kind of wrestle the crap out of any match out there and just, kind of, be dynamite. Next, we have Samoa Joe against Isaiah Cassidy. I thought it was kind of funny, but at the same time, kind of sad. I saw this match on the match card, and I was like, "Oh man!" Like you're so used to seeing AEW champion Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe obviously has to make his way, has to climb his way back up to the ladder to kind of fight for that championship. Kind of fight Swerve Strickland, mostly fighting for his relevancy in AEW. No doubt in my mind that we're probably going to get a rematch between Samoa Joe and Swerve Strickland in the future. Honestly, I think that's what they should do, and that's kind of what I want to. That's see. It's kind of what I want to see. So yeah. Finally, but not least, we have Orange Cassidy speaks. Obviously, kind of had the best friends kind of going down under. It's getting pretty heated, in terms of their stable within the AEW roster. So definitely excited to, kind of watch that. It's happening right now. Can't wait to see it. But we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. So it's been recently told that The Rock is going to have a docu-series in WWE talking about the death of WCW. So I did some research, and if you guys want to stick with me, we're going to talk about what exactly killed WCW. Maybe you don't have to watch the documentary series by the Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Maybe you can watch Eric Rodriguez in the doc. I'm just kidding. No. The Rock is awesome. He has levels and levels and levels of book. I'm just kidding. So just stay tuned. We're gonna talk. We're gonna get right on into it. So hey, don't go anywhere.